Hello and welcome. I'm here with the lead water filtration expert at IntegriPure Newcastle and the host of the documentary Newcastles Tap Water. And we're also here with John. He was the producer of this documentary and also the lead researcher. So the only thing keeping people safe when the water leaves the purification plant, again, is chlorine. And is it enough?
If it's better than dying, I'm going to answer that again. It's better than dying.
I would imagine it's good enough if everything works out well.
Yeah.
If there isn't a crack in the pipe, I would say, where something can get through. If there isn't an opening, if they're not, so it's gonna.
So, look, I'm not a water filtration expert, and the reality is that none of us are experts on the reticulation infrastructure. We possibly know a little bit more than the average person, but we're not experts on that. But something I can't stop thinking about, ever since researching for the documentary and putting it together, I can't stop thinking about how vast this network of infrastructure is. How many thousands of pipes are interconnected with one another, and how the plant is so far away from my house, and how this water is just literally being sent with one thing in it, and that's chlorine. And it's just, it's like, what did I say when we used to play computer games and you use a machine gun and you just like shoot all over the place? People used to say you spray and pray.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like they kind of spray and pray. They like just throw chlorine in and they just send it off. Now, the reason why I'm kind of answering in this way is because I've gotten myself thinking, at what point do I become concerned with how many possibilities there are for contamination in my water? So I've put myself in this position, and I'm stupid like this. It is what it is. If I come to IntegriPure, I buy 1 5-liter water. I know it's clean and healthy water. And I buy another empty bottle. In that empty bottle, I go to where there's sewage bubbling out. And I go and grab a bottle, 5-liter full of sewage. Now I've got a 5-liter of sewage and I've got a 5-liter of clean water. And what I do is I drill a little hole between these two bottles at the top, and I put a little pipe across there, not at a point where any liquid can actually trade from one bottle to the other, but they're just connected via a small pipe. And I'm still going to want to drink the water in the 5-liter bottle. I'm not too sure. I don't have an answer for the question. But then my question is, how many bottles do I need to place between myself and the sewage before I feel like I'm safe to drink the water that's in the clean bottle, right? Now, even more so, if that little pipe was at the bottom of the bottle and these things could swirl across one another, how many bottles of clean water am I going to want between my bottle and the sewage bottle before I say I'm willing to drink from this bottle? Right? It seems like a stupid argument because it's like at no point am I going to feel comfortable with this because my water is connected to that water and I know how water works. It's thirsty. It saturates, right? It attracts the stuff to itself. And all I'm saying is there's this vast ass network all over town. And if there's a break at one place, that is where contamination enters in. At that breakage point. Now I know it's not as simple as just a couple of 5-liter bottles. I get it. But the point is, I never know where that breakage is happening, when it's happening, and how much it can possibly impact the quality of my water at my tap. And as much as I say I don't know that, people might think, oh, okay, but you don't know that and you're just a dude. Utugela doesn't know that neither. Neither does the municipality. They don't know where the next break's going to happen. They don't know how big the break's going to be, how much sewage is around that break. And Newcastle's sewage problem is a whole nother problem. And all I'm saying is that when they throw that chlorine in that side, they can't accommodate for what's going on in that infrastructure.
Spray and pray.
Spray and pray. And all I'm saying is that doesn't give me confidence.
Yeah.
And I want confidence.
I can add to that and say, from a filtration point of view, I hope I get to answer the question. I have some long thing in my head here. From a filtration point of view, if we filter water for a household, we have let's say a standalone lodge or a farmhouse or whatever, and they're getting water, we analyze the water and we treat that water. But always, I say, okay, we treat the water coming into the house to one extent, because we want the water to be usable in your washing machine, your toilet and whatever and so forth. Because and people sometimes say, no, I just want to be able to drink from any tap. I say, I can probably do that, but it's going to cost you, firstly, either a hell of a lot of money, or I'm just going to be able to give you, let's call it Sans 241 quality water. I can get it in spec for you. And that's probably also going to cost a lot of money, but treating so much water is extremely difficult. So I always say, filter all the water to usable quality, but the water going into your body, it has to be of a different nature. It has to be of a different standard. So with a house, I say, okay, this farmhouse, we putting in this filtration plant outside, getting the water usable for the washing machine, toilet. It's not going to form scale on your geyser element and so forth and so on. But in your kitchen, we put a dedicated system, filtering only the drinking water for your cooking, for your drinking, because filtering water up to that quality on the smaller quantities is much easier, much cheaper. And because you don't want to flush your toilet and drinking water goes down there, it's stupid, even if you're paying for it. So in the same case here, and I'm probably going over to selling here, but nonetheless, all the water, they're treating it to usable quality. But if you have a filter specifically for drinking, you know that the water going into your body. And some people also say that, okay, the water that I shower in, I'm like, Sans 241, you can shower in that water. I don't see a problem with that. Even though it's going up your nose or where, I don't know if you shower upside down. But something for your drinking water, it has to be different, it has to be elevated. And that's, we touched on this slightly in the documentary because we didn't want to sell there. We wanted people to be informed and make informed decisions regarding just be awake on the matter. But the whole system, you asked, is that enough, just chlorinating the water? And my answer is, to shower in, yes. And if you're very thirsty and you haven't gotten to the water shop to fill up your 25-litre container, it's better than dying. And it's even better than being extremely, extremely thirsty. Because you haven't gotten to the shop yet to buy your 25-litre or to refill or whatever. But so, yes, it's enough, but no, it's not enough.
I'm David, fellow director at Integrity Pure Newcastle, and that's us.